Hello and welcome all of my fellow Paragon fans. My name is Oborrok, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the future of Predecessor through information of Unreal Engine 4, Unreal Engine 5, and official information about Predecessor released from Ometa Studios themselves. Now, really quickly, if you like Predecessor, be sure to smack a like on this video, ring the notification bell, and have it set to all, and hit the subscribe button as well. All of these buttons help me out tremendously, and I do very much appreciate the support. Once more, before we get into Predecessor, I'm going to need to fill in some blanks with information about Paragon. Paragon was a 5v5 3-lane based MOBA where two teams of 5 players would fight it out as different characters who all played a different role in trying to be victorious over the opposing team. The way this was done was through destroying the enemy team's towers and inhibitors to eventually make it to the enemy team's core, and upon destroying the core earned you the victory. Paragon was developed and published by Epic Games back in 2016, and in the words of John Waselchik, the team was given the chance to make anything and had a lot of creative freedom when they started the project. One of the main goals for developing the game was to introduce action elements into the genre. To achieve this, the game features gameplay similar to a third-person shooter, and the in-game characters were designed to possess mobility skills. Now, in an interview with Steve Superville, the creative director for Paragon, we learned that the approach for Paragon was, in Steve's own words, our love of action games and what we love about MOBAs. What makes MOBAs magic, and partnered those things together in the hopes of bringing out the most competitive MOBA experience that we possibly can, and do it in a way that values all types of players. So players who have MOBA'd before should be able to come in and use their knowledge and be confident and masterful, but players who have never played a MOBA before can come in with an action, shootery type background and find that those skills transfer also as they learn the MOBA rule set. The game was absolutely gorgeous, and it offered something so new and fun to the MOBA player base that they hadn't seen before, other than what Smite had to offer being a third-person animated like MOBA, but Paragon took graphics and the third-person aspect to a whole new level. So as you'd imagine, Paragon absolutely took off between the years of 2016 and 2017, but unfortunately, after many updates that didn't sit too well with the Paragon community, and the release of Fortnite in September of 2017, where many devs were pulled from Paragon to work on Fortnite, Paragon seemed to be getting worse and worse. Fans of the game weren't happy with the direction the game was traveling, and in April of 2018, Epic decided to pull the plug on Paragon completely. Naturally, this is where the story ends, but not this time. Epic then decided to release over $17 million worth of assets for Paragon, free on the Unreal Engine market. So, as quickly as possible, different players of the Paragon community band together and got to work on their own Paragon-inspired MOBA. Vault Elder Orb is the first of these revival projects to enter early access. Developed by Canada-based Strange Matter Studios, it has been live and fully playable on Steam since July 17th, 2020. Ironically, Vault Elder Orb will be releasing on the Epic Games Store alongside their free-to-play launch on July 18th, 2022. But once again, the story doesn't stop there. On March 9th, 2021, Ometa Studios announced that they had raised $2.2 million to create a cross-platform third-person MOBA game called Predecessor, using the assets from Paragon as well. And still, the story continues. Netmarble and Team Soul Eve announced a PC third-person MOBA game called Overprime, which also utilizes the assets from Paragon. Now, on top of this, there were also a few other titles that began production on their own Paragon-like MOBA, but we haven't really heard much from them in a very long time. Now, in the beginning of the video, I said I'd discuss a little bit about Unreal Engine 4 and 5. So let's talk about Unreal Engine 4 right now. In August 2005, Mark Ryan, the vice president of Epic Games, revealed that Unreal Engine 4 had been in development for 2 years. Mark then stated it certainly doesn't have a full team yet, It's just one guy, and you could probably guess who that guy is," he told CNVG. Speaking in an interview in early 2008, Sweeney stated that he was basically the only person working on the engine, though he affirmed his research and development department would start to expand later that year, designing the engine in parallel with the development of Unreal Engine 3. Quote, "In some way, we resemble a hardware company with our generational development of technology. We are going to have a team developing Unreal Engine 3 for years to come, and a team ramping up on Unreal Engine 4. And then, as the next-gen transition begins, we will be moving everybody to that. We actually are doing parallel development for multiple generations concurrently," he said. In February 2012, Ryan stated, quote, "People are going to be shocked later this year when they see Unreal Engine 4, end quote. Epic unveiled Unreal Engine 4 to limited attendees at the 2012 Game Developers Conference, and a video of the engine being demonstrated by technical artist Alan Willard was released to the public on June 7, 2012, via Game Trailers TV. One of the major features planned for Unreal Engine 4 was real-time global illumination using voxel cone tracing, eliminating pre-computed lighting. However, this feature, called Sparse Voxel Octree Global Illumination, or SVOGI, and showcased with the Elemental demo, was replaced with a similar but less computationally expensive algorithm due to the performance concerns. Unreal Engine 4 also includes the new Blueprints visual scripting system, a successor to Unreal Engine 3's Kismet, which allows for rapid development of game logic without using code, resulting in less of a divide between technical artists, designers, and programmers. So, you may be asking, how does all of this play into the future of Predecessor? Well, Predecessor began development on Unreal Engine 4, but Omega Studios has stated that in order to future-proof their game, they have shifted from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. So now let's talk a little bit about Unreal Engine 5. Unreal Engine 5 was revealed on May 13th, 2020, supporting all existing systems, including the next-generation consoles, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Work on the engine started about 2 years prior to its announcement. It was released in early access on May 26, 2021, and formally launched for developers on April 5, 2022. One of its major features is Nanite, an engine that allows for high-detailed photographic source material to be imported into games. The Nanite virtualized geometry technology allows Epic to take advantage of its past acquisition of Quixel, the world's largest photogrammetry library as of 2019. The goal of Unreal Engine 5 was to make it as easy as possible for developers to create detailed game worlds without having to spend excessive time on creating new detailed assets. Nanite can import nearly any other pre-existing 3-dimension representation of objects and environments, including ZBrush and CAD models, enabling the use of film-quality assets. So now that I've brought you up to speed a bit on Unreal Engine 4, Unreal Engine 5, and other Paragon-like projects, let's now tackle a deep dive into Predecessor as a whole. On top of Predecessor's $2.2 million funding round, Omega states, quote, "We're extremely proud to share that we have closed a $20 million Series A round led by Haveli Investments, which existing investors GFR Fund, Possible Ventures, Progression Fund, and more also participated in," end quote. Now, also on top of this, they have also brought in countless members that previously worked on Paragon to some degree, or worked at Epic in general, such as X Sundown, a former marketing specialist at Epic Games on the title Fortnite Battle Royale, with prior experience as a competitive design analyst on Paragon, and also Steve Superville, the creative director for Paragon, to help support as an advisor. Now, in an interview with Robbie Singh, CEO and founder of Omega Studios, or also known as RG Sace, Singh states, quote, "A lot of exciting technology was unveiled with Unreal Engine 5 that the team is keen to get their hands on and start integrating with Predecessor. But our immediate goal is to get Predecessor in as many hands as possible as quickly as possible. Having said that, we are making a game that we believe will be around for at least a decade, if not longer. So we felt moving to Unreal Engine 5 would help future-proof our development," end quote. Then, Singh also states that, quote, "The transition from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5 didn't impact the timing of our early access, as we managed to keep the team working on Unreal Engine 4, while one of our senior tools engineers made the transition and fixed up any major issues. Once the majority of issues were solved, we moved everyone else over with very little difficulty and were able to pick up where we left off, end quote. Singh then states that, quote, early access is scheduled for release in 2022. We are not ready to share a specific date yet, but once players dive into early access, they can expect to see at least 20 heroes and more shipping throughout early access along with a traditional 5v5 game mode, end quote. As a fan of Paragon, my heart was crushed when the plug was pulled, but over the last 2 years, I have been eagerly waiting for the arrival of Predecessor and participating in every open beta and test I possibly could. I can confidently say that the nostalgia of Paragon will live again through the body of Predecessor, a beast on its own 2 legs. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it and hit that subscribe button as it does help me very much, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you'd like to catch all of my videos, Predecessor related or not, definitely be sure to ring the notification bell selected under the all option so you never miss a video. And if you'd like to read through any of the articles I referenced in this video, I will leave every single article and credible source in the description down below. Take care, my fellow Paragon fans. I'll catch you on the battlefield of Predecessor later this year.